So the Cowboys are coming off a pretty disappointing season, but they have full belief they can turn it around next year. Dak Prescott even said they're not that far from winning the Super Bowl. However, our own Chris Canty thinks some drastic changes need to be made if they hope to compete in the future. And by drastic, I mean what? Listen.
The Dallas Cowboys need to trade Micah Parsons. They need to trade Micah Parsons.
Why?
They have to, at some point, start taking culture seriously. You don't get closer to winning a championship by getting rid of those players, typically. But when you got somebody that has been as vocal as he has, that has at various points gotten himself in trouble with his podcast, saying certain things about his teammates, about the league, there's an opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys this offseason to show the rest of that locker room that our culture here matters. You have to send a message to the rest of the players that this is not something that's going to be tolerated.
But hold on. Don't even bother asking the question, Al.
I'm not. I just looked at you.
Chris Canty, that's the most asinine thing I've ever heard come out of his mouth. I'm not talking about trading Micah Parsons. I'm talking about the reasons he threw out. You want to trade Micah Parsons because you don't have enough draft capital and you want to buffer that? Fine. You think trading Micah Parsons could get you additional assets elsewhere on the football field or a multitude of assets that exceed just that of one person? I'm good with that, fellas. My issue is the reasons he talked about that. Excuse me, Micah Parsons opening his mouth if you want to establish culture. How the hell are you going to establish any culture when the person who does the most talking is Jerry Jones? Are you kidding me? You trying to tell me that Micah Parsons compromised the culture? I mean, listen, I give Chris Canty credit for this. First of all, the man is must-listen-to radio. It's must-listen-to radio in the morning. I mean, you wake up in the morning, you should want to listen to unsportsmanlike. I'm talking about this guy, Chris Canty, right here. You want to listen to him in the morning because he's going to say some stuff now. It's just that some of the times it's going to be as asinine as it can be. And this is one of those moments. It makes no sense what he's saying. When you're going to talk about Micah Parsons compromising the culture of the Dallas Cowboys, this brother is elite at what he does. Now, he's had moments when he hasn't been. But overall, we know who the hell Micah Parsons is and what kind of impact he can have and what he brings to the table when he's on that football field. He never gives up on his team or his teammates. For some reason, inexplicably, he believes in these cats. I guess it's the right thing to do, but this brother is a monster. And I'm certainly not going to blame him for any culture issues involving the Dallas Cowboys. If anything, he elevates their culture. He doesn't compromise, because if you out there lollygagging and ain't getting it done, it is possible that he might call you out. But he doesn't hurt the Dallas Cowboys in that locker room, and he certainly doesn't hurt them when he's healthy and on the field. The person who may hurt them is the person who defines the culture, which is Jerry Jones. Chris Canty needs to stop that nonsense. He needs to stop that nonsense.
HD?
So Stephen A., that's what we know about all these other great organizations that we have across sports, period, right? It starts at the top. And for the Dallas Cowboys, the owner happens to be the GM. The GM talks more than anybody / the owner. So he creates the culture. So Michael Parsons is only doing what Jerry Jones does. Michael Parsons is only going to do what he's allowed to do. And I don't think he's going to disrupt your culture. Now, there are times where I feel like when it comes to Michael Parsons, hey, the main thing has to be the main thing. But Jerry Jones sets the precedence when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys and what they're all about. I would also look at this football team and say to myself, man, they also don't have an identity. They don't have an identity on offense. They don't have an identity on defense. And they definitely don't have an identity when it comes to free agency and bringing around talent to plug the holes and deficiencies of their football team. Now, when it comes to trading Micah Parsons, number one, I am not trading away a generational talent. I'm not trading away a guy who has 52 and a half sacks in 4 seasons, in 63 games and 9 forced fumbles. I'm not taking away or trading a guy that whenever the opposing team are looking at the Dallas Cowboys, Michael Parsons is the person that's on that screen as a game wrecker. I'm not doing that. And I think the situation is different when you also look at the Cleveland Browns and Myles Garrett asking for a trade, because the Dallas Cowboys have a quarterback. The Cleveland Browns don't have a quarterback. Dallas Cowboys have a star wide receiver. The Cleveland Browns are still trying to find that true number one guy. I understand they made some trades for a guy from the Denver Broncos and whatnot, but I'm not trading away a generational talent for draft capital when I know this young man is relentless in sacking the quarterback and getting to the quarterback.
Man, by the way, real quick, y'all. Yeah. By the way, real quick. As much as I love to troll Dallas Cowboy fans, I actually love the city of Dallas. And they don't deserve to have Luka gone and then Micah gone. I mean, damn, that's a lot to put on a city.
Yeah.
That's a lot to put on a city. That's
they
all
will combust. Here's the thing, and why I'm disappointed in Canty is because he was a Cowboy. I hate for the Hall of Famer to take a stray here. I know he's a friend of the program. But didn't Michael Irvin reportedly stab a teammate and they still went to the playoffs and he wasn't suspended? You think Jerry Jones is gonna trade away Micah Parsons for a podcast? That is completely asinine. And also, Louis Ridge, I'm just saying, Jerry, listen, we give Jerry a lot of crap and he says he wants to win. I think all of us believe that he wants to win. Sometimes the moves, how much money they're spending doesn't necessarily show that, right? But I know that he wants to win. I know Jerry Jones wants to win. And that to me was the biggest example. He wanted to win so bad and return back to the Super Bowl that he let a teammate stab another one and didn't suspend him. But they went to the playoffs ultimately, even though they lost in the wild card round. But on top of that, Louis, the culture, that's what we think is the biggest issue for Dallas. Because if you get rid of Micah Parsons, it's because you can't afford him. But the culture, that's their problem?
Yeah, when I read that, that's what Candy had said, I was like, hold on. I know that's not what I think it is. I know he didn't say that they should trade him away if they want to get serious about the culture. If Jerry Jones actually traded Micah Parsons and said, hey, you know what? I'm trying to send a message to this locker room that we need to be serious about winning. And you know what? Micah was kind of detracting from what I'm trying to build around here. You think we troll him now. You think Dallas Cowboys fans laugh at him now. You think Dallas Cowboys haters get on him now. I mean, you're right. It didn't make any sense. That's why I was I don't really know where that came from. I don't even really know what the rationale is for bringing up that you should trade him for culture. Now, if anything, if you really want to make a big statement about Micah Parsons and him not being on the Dallas Cowboys, it should be more along the lines of Micah Parsons. If it wasn't for the fact that he was playing for the Dallas Cowboys, maybe he should be considering going somewhere else because the culture isn't really conducive and the situation isn't set up for him to win at the level that he wants to win at. So maybe he should be going, hey, you know what? Get me out of here. Send me to Kansas City. Send me to Green Bay. Hell, send me to Philly. Send me somewhere where the culture is set up to where, hey, you know what I mean? Where it's set up to where, look, number one, the owner kind of understands what his role is. Number two, everyone understands that the head coach is the CEO and we can't circumvent him and go to the owner. Number three, the culture is set up such that, you know what, the main thing is the main thing, which is winning football games, not trying to really, accentuate everything else that we do off the field with podcasts and endorsement deals and everything else it seems to be the culture down there in Dallas. If I were him, that's what I would be looking for, but it is the Dallas Cowboys, so he's probably not going to ever ask for that, and he knows he's going to get paid down there. So, yeah, this made no sense to me at all. It really did. I didn't even really know where to go with this. It made no sense.
Well, we know where to go with it. Canty's asinine sometimes. You understand? But that's also what makes him great. That's also what makes him great.
True.
That's why we love our brother. It's just that every now and then, listen, this Chris Canty, man, I mean, waking up early in the morning has done something to this brother. I mean, I don't know what the hell might come out of his mouth. I'm trying to tell y'all right now. So it's good for us. It's good for the network. It's good for the damn industry. But when it comes to Chris Canty, it's like, my Lord, because the brother knows his football, but some of the stuff this brother says, I just think he needs to get tested. There's something wrong with him. There's something wrong with him.
The guy knows how to make enough waves that it ends up being debated on First Take. But to Stephen A's point, the Mavs decided to send a message about Luka and conditioning and culture, and it didn't go particularly well. They're not